The neighbors took legal action against the city for approving this.
26 acres. You've got 1,000 feet of lake frontage there that we share with with our neighbors who don't want us here, but that's okay.
Right, so we just saw the observatory, but check this out. So in a couple weeks here, this is all going to be nice trails along here, accessible for wheelchairs, and then that will turn in here, and then this is going to be a concrete pad called the Sky Circle. So these rocks will come out and they'll become part of the driveway, and so this will be a concrete pad. We got a lot of rain tonight, so hence the water, or last night rather. But this is almost the perfect stargazing spot. We're in a little bowl-shaped area of land here, but we've still got almost a 360-degree view of the entire sky. So Halifax is that way, and so, but that's okay, because that's the north. That's the least interesting part of the sky to stargaze at. What's really cool is this part of the sky right here that we can see, because that's the southern sky. That's where the seasonal constellations are going to be highest in the sky. So this ridge overlooks this valley here, which has some wetlands in it that we're protecting. So we're not going anywhere near those wetlands, but these rock outcroppings stick out over this valley. And the idea is to have little observatories in the future that you could rent here. And that way you could spend the whole night and possibly even camp in your little observatory, have the telescope, and just be able to sit here protected from the cold, but just be able to sit with your telescope and enjoy this absolutely amazing view. Now almost all the land over here is the Peggy Cove Preservation Area. So there's pretty low risk of developments sprouting up over here and ruining our view of the sky. So we're really lucky to have this location. But this is a great place to come and take some sunset photos over the lake. You can see the far side of the lake reflecting off the water there. And just an absolutely magical view. The road will come up this sort of low point here, and then we need to stay away from the lake to protect that as a wetland. And so we need to stay away 100 feet plus an additional amount of space for the incline. And so that puts the cabins here sort of along this ridge, and then the road will come up in the middle, and there'll sort of be cabins on either side is the idea. So it's nice and secluded, but you still have this unbelievable view of the sky. What can we do? Well, we can operate the observatory. So that's on a separate permit from the development agreement. So the development agreement is for, primarily the cabins, and then the building out this area with the rentable observatories. But we can still do things with the observatory. The nonprofit is the Abbey Ridge Observatory Association. And so they can operate the observatory and run small events and that sort of thing. We'll have the Sky Circle as well in a couple weeks, which is really nice, because then there'll be, from the Sky Circle, there's no line of sight to the neighbors, and the topography sort of blocks that big LED panel that they put up to try and stop us from operating. The biggest benefit to this telescope is not the size of the telescope, it's where it is. So despite the fact that we're only 30 minutes from Halifax, the Halifax light pollution is in that part of the sky. It doesn't seem to extend to this part of the sky. And you'll see that as soon as you show up and you get out of the car in the summer, you'll see the Milky Way just rising out of the south. When we point the telescope at the things in the Milky Way, you'll see them with an incredible detail that's even greater than that which you would see at the Burke-Gaffney Observatory, because that's in downtown Halifax. This is a brake router from a Chevy Malibu, 1999, and it doesn't seem to rust, and so it is bolted into the pier here, and that gives a stable platform for astrophotography. The pictures that this thing takes are absolutely nuts. Hopefully you get to see some. People are going to feel a sense of awe, especially if you're seeing something like Saturn's rings for the first time. That completely knocks people's socks off. Climbing the ladder and getting that genuine experience, just like people have been doing for hundreds of years, that's what you show up for. We're going to take a look at that conjunction. So this is an alignment of Jupiter and Venus that we can see in the sky tonight. And with a low enough magnification, you can, in theory, see both planets at the same time through the telescope. I think this telescope's got a little bit too much power for that, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. I think like when people see an eclipse, that's pretty shocking. You get a lot of hoots and hollers. Saturn, you get people being like, "Holy cow! What? No way!" And then they check to see how we're like projecting it, which we're not. So I wouldn't even know how to do that. In the wintertime, the Orion Nebula never gets old. If it's a winter and you've set up a telescope, that's what you're looking at. In the summer, there's all sorts of targets. Okay.
That does make it okay.
Then that would be that guy.
Oh, okay.
And then Altair's somewhere near that airplane.
Well, ones that we can sort of take out on the deck, probably around 10.
Okay.
I like to leave ones out for just kids to use, like this.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't hurt these. Can't hurt this one. And then we've got smart telescopes like these ones, and that's if people want pictures. Smart telescopes. And then obviously the big one in the observatory. But really, the most fun you'll have stargazing is just hanging out with your family and looking up and talking about what you see. I think it just brings a level of excitement and appreciation for what we have here in Nova Scotia. I think everyone should have access to the night sky and to be able to appreciate the stars, and having a telescope is just the icing on the cake. Mostly educational. It also can help bring people to Nova Scotia if they want to come here to learn how to operate telescopes or how to conduct science outreach. And so that's something that you can learn here and then take back to your home. I mean, it doesn't take much, but it has to be something to push a kid over the edge. So for me growing up, I never had that. And then when I was 27 and got my first telescope and saw that first view of Saturn, that's all it took. And 4 years later, I quit my job to study astrophysics. That's the goal. We want people to come here and learn about this part of Nova Scotia, learn about nature, and then ultimately learn about the night sky. I'm not sure we'll have that in 5 years. But I think everyone across Canada, in theory, could find out about it or just hear about it because of how amazing it is. Really, like, you've been here, you've experienced it. All right, now picture this with the energy of people falling in love with the sky. And once we turn the film light off here, you'll be able to see, the Milky Way is going to start rising right over here, up above our heads. And as long as we protect our eyes, you'll be able to see that. And that's pretty rare. Not a lot of people get to see the Milky Way. And that's something you'll never forget.